John Handley Judges come out with the victory over the Millbrook Pioneers on Senior Day at the Handley Bowl. Coach Smith emphasized the importance of a strong start after the last 2 weeks, starting the game slow and lackadaisical. This was not the case in the game today, as the offense came out red hot, starting the game early. A Will Yoder touchdown pass from Duncan Hensler. Yoder had 5 on the day, including a pick 6 defensively. In the mix, Jalen Washington with a couple rushing touchdowns for the Judges, and Christian Dinges with an athletic touchdown catch with coverage around him. The Millbrook Pioneers in the second half made some noise. Raymond Hollenbach taking a screen pass for a touchdown and a rushing touchdown as well. Keon Lewis had 1 additional passing touchdown, trying to generate some success later in the game to put Handley on their toes, but Handley responding with another explosive Will Yoder touchdown from 60-plus yards. All around, the Handley Judges came out hot and did not want to play any lackadaisical football. So with that, this closes out the regular season for the Judges. They are guaranteed a home playoff game. That opponent is yet to be determined, so we will find out more probably Sunday in terms of the playoff seeding. But this is the first time that Coach Jake Smith and his staff are able to host a home playoff game. The 2 previous years, Handley traveling on the road, both times to Salem. So a big credit to the Handley Judges football team. They get a home playoff game right here next week. Coming up on the post-game show, you will hear from Will Yoder with 5 touchdowns on the day, Jalen Washington, Christian Dinges, and the head coach of the John Handley Judges, Jake Smith, as the Judges are victorious in the last game of the regular season. Will Yoder joining me, 5 total touchdowns on the day, a pick 6, and getting out there. Duncan throwing you 4, Zaquan throwing you 3, Zaquan throwing you 1, if I recall correctly. Will, what can't you do?
I guess we're still trying to figure that out here. I mean, we still got playoffs, and I guess we'll see then. So,
what works so well? I mean, you're able to create space, get open. I mean, from the first drive, you had a very athletic catch, and you're just making great things happen. Even in contested space with your opponent, you're still able to make stuff happen. What works so well for you?
I think I'm going to give that credit to Coach Smith. He's a very good coach, and he knows where the space in the defense is going to be. So we practice that in practice, where that little space is going to be, and I am able to make the most of that. And when I'm open, Duncan gets me the ball perfectly, and I catch it, go score touchdowns.
So do you think that communication between you and Coach Smith during the week when it comes to planning for what you're doing with your opponent, do you think that really helps in terms of the communication aspect when he tells you where you might want to go in certain coverages?
Yup, that's 100% true. Like, he schemes me in to be able to catch those passes, and I think that's how I am so successful.
Defensively, what did you see on the pick 6 that you took it to the house? I know there was some traffic getting there, but you ended up in the end zone.
Yeah, so I remember just backing up in coverage, backpedaling, and he threw a ball. I was like, oh, I might be able to jump and get this. So I jumped out. I got that. I got a great lead block from Zaquan, and from there I was just all a foot race, and I won that foot race.
Coach Smith mentioned the first half of some of your games coming out kind of lackadaisical. If I were to say, I don't think that's the case in this first half and just the game altogether, what really changed for the whole team together?
You know, it's a district opponent, crosstown rival. I think the guys were pretty fired up to go play Millbrook and go put it on them in the first half. So when we took a 28-point lead, I would say we had some energy out there today.
And just the message moving forward, playoffs are ahead. Do you think of it as the playoffs, or is it just another opponent in your mind?
It's just another game. We're 0-0 now, so we got to go be 1-0. It's everyone's 0-0, so anything can happen.
What do you see defensively? Defensive line able to create pressure on Millbrook at times. What really worked from that aspect that you saw?
Yeah, Coach Noel, he told me before the game, like, we're going to send a lot of pressure. and we did send a lot of pressure, and our guys got back home and caused Keon to throw the ball away a lot, so I think that really worked.
What's the importance of home playoff game?
I think it's everything. Not a lot of teams can come out here Saturday at 1 o'clock and come beat Handley, so I think it's everything.
Will, really appreciate your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Christian Dinges joining me after the big win over the Millbrook Pioneers. I know Coach Smith told me you were sort of coming into the team late. You had a touchdown pass today, very athletic there. But how does it feel you're getting utilized more in the offense and making good things happen?
It feels great. I came out here to have fun, and that's what's happening. Came out here to have memories and lifelong friends.
I know your main sport, I would think, is basketball, but what's it like trying out football and having so much success at it?
Like I said, I came out here to have fun, play with my friends senior year, and it's great.
What did you see on that touchdown catch? Very athletic. I know that was contested by a Millbrook defender, but getting the ball and finding it for 6.
Yeah, he threw it up. I mean, I'm 6'5". I went for it. Just touchdown.
Do you think your agility on the basketball court and the hops help with that at all?
Yeah, for sure.
So what worked so well offensively today to generate so much explosive success?
I think we were able to get it out, get the passes. Yoder had 5 touchdowns. Shoot, great. And then Jameer just getting up the field.
And Will Yoder, I mean, you mentioned 5 touchdowns. How huge is that in the support after him getting 5 touchdowns on the day?
I mean, it's great. He celebrated, having fun. That's all that matters.
And what's it mean, home playoff game next week?
We're going to come out at practice all week, practicing hard, and we're going to come out, hopefully get the win.
Christian, my man, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
Jalen Washington joining me after the big win over the Millbrook Pioneers, closing out the regular season for the Handley Judges. What works so well offensively for you?
Well, up front, we're just really physical. So, our line, big, strong. And, when they open the holes, I just do my thing. And that's really what just helped us, our scheme and everything. So, yes, sir.
Offensive line, it seems like each and every week they're getting better. Would you say the same? And how huge is it that you have such a great offensive line that gives you, Jameer, plenty of options to make explosive plays happen?
Yeah, our offensive line, since week 1, they've definitely gotten better. Really, they just, week after week, they just getting better consistently, and that's really what just helps us boost our scheme and, just helps me and Jameer just run the way we do. So,
how did it feel coming out very aggressive? And Coach Smith said last 2 weeks, coming out in the first half lackadaisical. That was not the case today. What really stood out?
When we come out physical, and just come out 110% every play, that makes our opponents just lose their momentum and, just things just start rolling for us. So, and once we get rolling, we can't be stopped.
How did it feel watching Will's success out there as well?
Will, he's really good, works week after week, and really he's just a dog. That's all it is. So.
And what's it mean a home playoff game next week? Not many teams can stay at home with home field advantage through the playoffs, at least for the opening round. What does that mean?
That's just another opportunity, just playing home, we got to dominate. That's all it is, and that's really just the mindset.
Jalen, really appreciate your time with us, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Under the steps of the Handley Bowl after the big win over the Millbrook Pioneers, Coach Jake Smith joining me. Coach, I know you spoke about the last 2 weeks, starting off the game lackadaisical. If I could just say, and if you agree with me there, this team came out very hot, not so lackadaisical this game. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I think. It was a point of emphasis, so it was good to see, replicated in a game situation. I think we came out and got points on the board early and prevented them from scoring, and it was a good sign, early on when we were able to do that.
Will Yoder, 5 touchdowns, 1 defensively, 4 on the offense. Week in and week out, he is producing, making great things happen. I asked him, I might as well ask you, what can't Will do?
That's a good question. I mean, he's not the greatest thrower in the world, but as far as at receiver goes, I mean, he's pretty complete. He can do it all. He does a great job blocking in the run game. He runs great routes. He has great body control when he's in the air, and he has some of the best hands I've ever been around in a long time. So he works really hard to be able to put himself in those positions, and it's a credit and a testament to the things that he's done.
And Will mentioned throughout the week film study. You're sort of coaching him, guiding him on where he needs to be in order to be the most successful, and that goes even with the contested catches that he's able to make as well. Just going into that film study and the communication with him, how huge is that he's taking in the information you're giving and making great things happen?
Yeah, I mean, the film is a big part of what we do, and learning how to study film appropriately, as a teenager is sometimes tough to teach. And so, one of the things that we try to do is teach our guys how to watch tape. And, the guys that get in and they watch the film, they play fast. And so it presents a huge, opportunity for you on the field on game day if you have no hesitation or reservation on anything that you're doing because you've seen it a million times.
I saw Christian a little bit more involved. How do you like his involvement? It seems like gradually giving him more and more responsibility in a sense. Can you just touch on him?
Yeah, Christian's a huge target. He also has really good hands. And so, he's been getting better all year long. And so, the more that he practices, the better he gets, as a first-year guy coming to football. And so, this now late in the year, he has enough tools in the tool bag to be able to get it done out there at wide receiver.
Offensive line, I forgot to mention them from the top. They're getting better week in and week out, too, just making explosive plays. And I know, again, you preach about the explosive plays. What stood out there?
Yeah, I think our line, like I said before, is continuing to get better every week. We got a couple different backs that we can get in there and run the football for us, a change of pace, 2 very different styles between Jalen and Jameer. And I think it makes it tough for defenses to prep for.
Do you like the combination of Jalen and Jameer, too? It seemed like maybe not as much Jameer, but Jalen, but Jameer was able to do some great things, too. How do you like the combination so you're not using one back too much and conserving energy in a sense?
Yeah, both of those guys are about the same height. They're not real tall guys, but both of them are very physical runners in their own regard, but very different styles of running. And so, again, when you're in the flow of a game, you kind of get used to a back, and then you put a new back in, and it's a different style. It's a change of pace. It's a good advantage for us to have right now.
Baxter with an interception starting there looked like he read that route perfectly off of Millbrook. What did you see off of his interception that worked very well for your defense?
Yeah, Isaiah's come up with, turnovers for us all year long. An opportunity today presents itself. He read the play. You could see him a mile away, driving and breaking on that ball. And so, he did exactly what he was coached to do and had great eye discipline.
What's the versatility of Will playing both sides of the football and being able to make a defensive play as well?
Yeah, Will's an incredibly intelligent football player. And so, being in the back half, on defense in the secondary and being able to make calls and play free a little bit at different times and play the ball in the air, it's a good thing. And then, offensively, he's been starting for us there for a number of years. And so his production just continued to get better each year.
Can you touch on the second half, Millbrook, trying to make a fight out of it and just pulling out some trick plays, maybe some onside kicks? I know maybe not what you want to see, but answering back with some more explosive plays. But that sort of comeback that Millbrook was sort of having, getting a couple scores. What really stood out there, and what do you want to maybe see from your team to try to stop teams from even attempting to do that?
Yeah, it was a miscue staff-wise right there. We had a group of seniors defensively that went in the third quarter. That shouldn't have happened until the fourth quarter. And so, some of those guys were out of position. It was just 11 seniors, out on the field at one time. Millbrook did a great job of scheming a couple of things up, but we did not play well during that period or that stretch. And so, again, a little bit of a miscue there as far as in staff communication.
Overall, just what's the emotion after a big win like this, closing out the season, and if I'm correct, please correct me if I'm wrong, a home playoff game?
Yeah, I mean, I think senior day, it's always an emotional day for the kids. And so, that was good to be able to celebrate those guys today and have a good performance out on the field. But ultimately, once today's over, we got to reset and refocus. Postseason begins next week. And so, our focus on Monday is solely going to be on our next opponent.
Do you happen to know who that opponent is? I heard on the PA Liberty, but are you so sure of that, or could that change?
I'd say it's pretty high probability that we'll have Liberty here at home.
And just what does it mean, a home playoff game, to start the playoffs? I know last year going on the road, I know the importance of a home game in front of your home fans on a Saturday afternoon. Nothing beats that.
No, and it'll be the first home playoff game, since our staff has been here. The first year we were on the road at Millbrook and then on the road to Salem. And then last year, we were on the road to Salem again. So, we don't have to make a 3-hour trip, to play a playoff game, which is, always a positive thing.
Do you look at this as the playoffs, or do you just want your team to focus like it's just another game going 1-0? Because I know your mindset, how you all prepare the same, and just focus on yourselves for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing to understand about the postseason is that, your regular season record is no longer a factor in anything. Everybody starts the postseason, no wins, no losses. If you win the game, you get to play another one. If you lose the game, you're done. And so, that's just the understanding that we need to have, moving in that direction. And then, again, we just focus on, 1 week at a time. Our goal is just to play one more week of football.
There you have it, the head coach of the John Handley Judges after the big win over the Millbrook Pioneers to close out the regular season. Playoffs are right around the corner. Coach Jake Smith, really appreciate your time with us, and we will talk to you about the playoffs here soon.
Sure, thanks for having me.